was always curious to see how somebody set up his bike, like what he thinks would be the good setup to ride his dirt bikes. Well, of course, it depends on his ability of riding, but, just what he thinks how to set up the bike. If he's not watching a lot of YouTube videos on how to do this and that on the dirt bike, then let's just call that gentleman like on average dirt bike users. I don't think we're gonna hurt his feeling on that. And the owner of this bike would be fall into that category. And I just want to see and show it to you guys how he set up the bike and how the bike should be set up in order to not to be a better rider, but because it's not going to make you a better rider, not much, but you're going to ride much safer if you have the right setup. So the first thing what I stand out for me is the tire. The tire has a funny wear on it, which tells me the tire pressure is completely wrong. That's how he used it. It's way too much tire pressure for any conditions. There's a number of reasons why this is bad. These tires are made to work on the side surface, not just on these two knobs alone. So if you lower the tire pressure, obviously, the tire not going to look like that. It's more like flattened out, and you have more surface to deal with, so it's much stable. Not to mention, you're going to have more suspension travel, more cushioned, softer feeling to ride. So whoever owned this bike, the tire pressure is really bad. On the rear tire, it's pretty much flat on the top, and this knob on the side never been used. The second thing is the way the axle is, it's telling me the wheel moved way too much back than it's supposed to be. So what the gentleman experienced over here, very good straight speed, but very bad cornerability. So the bike cannot corner with this setup as it meant to be. Plus, it's not even touching the adjuster. So he moved the wheel back so much, and he forgot to put the adjuster to put it in line. So there is a gap between. I'm not saying anything about that. That's just a quick look at it. And then the other thing, what I see, the ride, whatever, a lowering linkage. I don't know that company, but I have my opinion about the lowering link. And if you lower the rear of your dirt bike and keep the front the way it is, and obviously you cannot lower it too much even if you wanted to, then you're gonna have, how to say that nicely, I'm pretty sure you know the animal, the creature, it's called hyena, and that could be the strongest one, craziest animal in the planet. The bite has is unmatched. Only thing can do that is the alligator. Somebody above mess up with that animal so bad to make the front so strong and make his rear so weak. The way they running, it's just funny. That's what this bike does. So everything from here, there, it's so strong, and when it comes to the rear, it's just pointing down, sadly. So this gives you a very, very bad rideability. The front wheel comes up so easily. I don't even want to get into it too much because I know some of you do that because you have to. That's why I'm not saying enough bad things about it. But unless if you absolutely have to, just please don't do that because you ruin your bike ability big time, big time. The suspension should be work evenly, front and rear. And this gentleman told me they changed the spring on the front fork, so they rebuilt it. And they put it back in. I'm going to show you how it looks like. That has its own fun. So when I do this, it should move evenly, but I can't. And the rear is so hard to move it. Probably not even following the track. It's just so hard to push it down, even when I'm here. It should be way easier. In the front, it's even harder. So the way the bike is supposed to be, I'm going to put something up there for you so you can see. I'm probably going to pick up the stock quickly and show it to you. But it should be goes evenly. So when I push it over here, it should front and rear move up and down at the same time. All right, so just what I was telling you really quickly, here's how the suspension should be. See? And I bought a red bike so you can associate with the color. That's how the suspension should be. And when I push the rear down, effortless to begin with. Compression, soft, rebound, hard. See? You kind of can see it takes time to come back up, but it goes down easy. That's how it should be, because that way you can absorb, the suspension easily can absorb those quick bumps. Beautiful. Since we are here, if I look at the handlebar, it's pointing away. So it's not in line. There is no options on this triple clamp to move it away from him, because that's just the Honda way. Any other manufacturers has that, but this handlebar adjustments, that's all you got. But the way he rides, his hands not gonna be like that, but more like this. So he's gonna have arm palm a lot of times on his riding, just because the end of the handlebar pointing up, and that's a terrible setup. That's a terrible way to set up your handlebar. You wanna have it nice in level and maybe a little bit up, but not this much. The way this one has, it's just, and I can see over here, it has a lot of wear because his hand touches the end of the handlebar more than the mid or the close to the throttle body area. So totally wrong setup. No surprise there. The way they put the suspension back, I don't think they were on top of the game. There is a lot of scratch mark over here when they swap it out. So that's one thing. And the other thing is they actually forgot to put the front brake line back the way it was before they take it apart. So now it's staying on outside of the shocks instead of being inside. So that's very dangerous to be like that. The brakes are very mellow, not even working. You can see clearly just working on the outside over here in the middle. It doesn't even work as you go in, not even touches the rotor. So that's really bad. The throttle, very sticky. You can hear it. There is no grease in there whatsoever. So if you try to wheelie, and that's the time when you are holding the handlebar stronger, it will stick, very stick. I can feel it. It's very hard to move it now. So definitely there is no grease over here. The clutch, extremely hard. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be or not, but the clutch is not one, not two, but 4-finger clutch, making funny noise. So zero grease there. And the reason why I'm showing all of this to you, so you can learn from this gentleman's mistake how bad this bike is set up and how far can the bike be just by setting up properly. If you set it up right, it will make a huge difference. And we're only talking about basics like tire pressure, the way the wheels needs to be. We don't even took it to the next level when the bike still can be, if you know what to do to set it up like that. But I don't want to take it too far. Complaining is kind of not my style. I'm more of a solution kind of person, so I don't like to pointing out problems. I more of a like to have the problem being fixed and show the result. But anyway, this is how that bike looks like. There is a long way to go to put it back into the right condition, and hopefully you learn from this video. Yeah, let's just leave it with that. I'll catch you on the next one.